Hey, friends. So, welcome to the live show, Thursday Night Live. We have Dave joining us from the car. He's a traveling man.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, everyone. We're so excited to be joining you guys this Thursday night. We have a full agenda, so brace yourself. It's gonna be wild. Welcome, Dave.
It'll be wild indeed. Let's see. I think I set my agenda down somewhere over here. Let me just pick that up and see where we're starting. Um, I know where I know where we can start. First of all, am I coming through clear to you, Tara?
Coming clear. Yeah, I can hear you. If you guys are
Okay.
hearing us, okay, somebody just pop in the comments and let us know you can see us. I'm not seeing
Okay.
anybody
Awesome.
yet today.
So here's where I'll start. I traveled on Friday of this past week, flew to Philadelphia, and then Saturday went to the book launch slash 65th birthday party for Joyce Abbott, our latest release, Teaching the Miss Abbott Way. And so it was a big black tie affair, super dressy. I had to wear a suit for the first time in a year. I can only wear a suit like once a year because that way there's enough space in between so that people don't realize that I only have one suit. Although I just gave it away, I guess. So if you see a picture of me in a suit, just know that's the same suit I wore the year before. That's by the way, that's why I have to run. That's why I have to go to the gym so much. I'm late. I didn't get home because I had to get my bike ride in at the gym because you have to understand when you only have one of stuff that's close, like you have to make sure you can fit into it all the time. And so I have to always be the same size so that I don't have to buy another suit.
It's so epic. He every time he tries it on, he's like, I hope, T, I hope this is gonna fit. I'm gonna need my suit again.
That was really
You look
risky
so
this time. I
handsome in
didn't,
it.
thank you. I didn't try on the pants until the hotel room the day of the event. And so that was probably not really smart, but it all worked out.
It all worked out. That looked like a fun party, actually. And this weekend, if you joined us for TLAB, I asked some questions on TLAB Twitter chat about comparing Niagara Falls to education. And I got to experience Niagara Falls with my boy this weekend. And it was just so incredible. I I told Dave the pictures just don't even scratch the surface on how huge and how much force and how much water is coming out of those falls. It's unbelievable. I That was on both my bucket list and Caleb, so it was really fun to be able to check that off together and get to experience that together.
Oh, we have Kristen
Kristen
that's
is in
joining
the
us here.
house.
All
Hey,
right.
everyone. We have someone in here. That means we are alive.
It's official.
They
It's
can
official.
see us.
Yeah. Despite the fact that you say those pictures don't capture it, I totally understand that. They were still amazing, still look spectacular. And again, just I told Tara this. I spoke about 15 minutes from Niagara Falls, but had to finish as soon as I was finished. I had to get to an airport and leave, and I didn't get to see them. And so I need to go back sometime and see them because looking at Tara's pictures, like, oh my gosh, it's just so immense, so wide, so
And
enormous.
so
So
much like I think the way I put it in one of my posts was just how it's so much like my dog loves her ball. It's so much beauty, but it's like there's there's chaos about it because the water is just coming down so hard with so much force.
it's
I
like a
mean, you couldn't
tower.
stand underneath it. Like you would be flattened.
Yeah.
But yet through all that crazy, it's also very calming to like sit
Hmm.
there and watch it. It's a
Hmm.
very interesting like Caleb and I were both feeling that same thing, like standing there. I was like, it feels so big and so chaotic and so strong, but also like at the same time you feel really calm, like
Yeah.
watching
Yeah.
it.
Um, yeah, that looked like a very cool trip. And
One thing that's cool about the falls too, Dave, is that they never stop. Like the water never runs out. it always flows forcefully. It's kind of like, different people around us on the boat and then also like on land. We were talking with our people around us and everyone was comparing it to something different. But one of the things I told Caleb it reminds me of is just like, it's just like time. Like it's just always
Keeps
happening.
rolling.
Like
Yeah.
those falls are going to continue forever and ever, just like time, And it's just like this cool reminder about the journey of life. It just keeps going. And it's kind of chaotic, but yet it's beautiful and it's unpredictable. It's really cool. One of the coolest parts though, Dave, I think was being able to go down these big tunnels. We took this elevator really far down, like 157 feet, or maybe a little bit more, and way down. And they built these tunnels that you can walk through. And it's kind of, I don't know, something about going in tunnels really creeps me out. I like kind of lose my breath. I get a little bit anxious. I'm always afraid like the rocks are going to collapse on us. We're going to be stuck down there and die.
Claustrophobic. Yeah.
I definitely have that. But when you get down there and wait in line, you can see the falls from the back. Like you're under them, behind them, and where that water falls down, it makes waves like tall as my apartment. So they're like so huge. And you can really see how a human couldn't just stand down there. Like, and how deep the water is. I think that too was astounding to me, how deep that water is there.
Yeah. Hey, Sean, what's going on? Sean's here.
So anyways,
Monica's
enough
here.
about the falls. Yeah. I'm glad you guys enjoyed them.
Yeah, Sean and Monica both have been to the fall. Look at this. I've been all over the place. Still haven't seen the falls. I need to get to the falls, apparently. Yeah, so Tara, when you were standing there underneath in the tunnels, were you thinking, you know what? I think I would like to try one of those barrel rides. Like try to get into a barrel and maybe go off the edge. What do you think?
So we heard about those and they've done the first guy that did the barrel, like he went down the falls, he lived. He only broke his hip. And then there were like, I don't remember the statistics exactly. Somebody needs to look it up, but I think there were like around 18 people that tried it and 6 people died. The rest were severely injured. But that first guy that did it came out okay and lived. That was enough to give more people trying it. I'm like,
yeah.
When you see it, you're like, how in the world? They have to be on some serious stuff to think that's gonna work.
Yeah. Maybe they just.
Oh, the zip line is really cool, Sean. The zip line was really cool.
The zip line.
There were people out there on a hot air balloon on the American side, up in a hot air balloon, like kind of coming over into to where they could see the whole horseshoe. Because on the American side, you can only see part of the horseshoe. So you don't get to see the little one and you don't get to see the back half of the horseshoe. But on the Canada side, you can see everything. So the Americans have this hot air balloon that's tethered down and it's like coming over in the middle so they can see everything. If you don't get on the boat, that's pretty much the only way to see it from that side. But that also looked intimidating to me. The wind was wild. Like if that thing came untethered, those people are gone. Like out.
Yeah.
I was like, Caleb, I want to skydive one day, but I would not do that. He's like, me either, Mom. That looks crazy. And I have went skydiving twice. And I would not do that.
I'm out on both of those. I am an educational risk taker, entrepreneurial risk taker, but I'm not like a physical safety risk taker. I've never been intrigued by things that like are physical safety risks. Don't want to do it. Not into it.
So you're with Kristen. You're not going to be riding the barrels down the falls.
Yeah, no. I'm willing to take a risk in the classroom. I'm willing to take a risk with some business idea, but I'm not doing any of the physical risks.
Let's just not kill ourselves today.
Yeah, exactly. Often when Tara or Wendy, who and Wendy is the director of operations. And so if Tara or Wendy tell me they're going to do some crazy thing, I always say, like, just make sure I know where the passwords are. Just like do
Every
what you
time.
want, but let me know where you're leaving the passwords.
I think you told me that when I was in the hospital last year, Dave.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, hey, can I get those passwords, by the way?
Yeah, I'm sure that this is going to all turn out okay, and you're going to get through this surgery and get over this infection. But just completely unrelated, hey, where do you keep your passwords? Just
Oh my
completely.
gosh.
I don't know why I thought of that, but I just thought I should probably know. Jay Bailey's here.
He said he wrecked a golf cart at John Daly's golf course on the Canadian side there once.
Oh my gosh.
That's epic.
Wait a second. I was just in a car with Jay Billy. I didn't know that story before I got into the car.
Well, it's good that you know it now.
Yeah. We drove across a bridge into Philly and had dinner not too long
That's
ago.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. And you are about to head to Fall Q. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I get on a plane tomorrow and fly to Sacramento. Super easy flight, 90 minutes up and down, nonstop, from Portland to Sacramento. We get in Friday afternoon. I'll go check in, get registered to the conference, all that. And the conference is mainly Saturday, Sunday. There's a pre-event with some dude on Friday. But then on Saturday and Sunday is the main conference. That's what I'm excited about. And I know, let's see, Tisha Richmond will be speaking on Saturday morning. The keynote on Saturday morning is Stand Tall Steve. So if you guys know Stand Tall Steve, I'm looking forward to hearing him speak. I haven't heard him do his keynote or anything like that. I know he's a super nice guy, so I'm looking forward to hear him speak. And then I'm going to go 15 minutes after the keynote. Tisha is doing Swiftify, a class about Swiftify your learning, about using Taylor Swift in your classroom. And so that's going to be a fun session. And I have a few other sessions picked out. I think on the next day, I'm going to see Ben and Jen, that wrote the Primary Edge Protocols book. And I'm looking forward to seeing them. And there's a few other people I'm going to see, a couple Edge Protocol sessions maybe. And there's lots of people that I don't recognize on the speaking list, to be honest with you. And so I'm kind of looking at also as maybe a little scouting trip. Maybe get to go see some people that I've never seen before, see what I think about them. And let's see what else is going on. So a Nick Roque is coming from Phenomenal Teacher Author, is coming from Winnipeg to come to the conference. So I'll get to see her. So that's a couple DBC authors. Kim is going to be a Deploying Edge Protocols author, will be there. And I'm sure several other people I'll get a chance to check out. I know some people have interacted with me on Facebook and say that we're going to grab a selfie when we get there. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, that's this weekend. I can't wait.
It's going to be so fun. You leave tomorrow, right?
I leave tomorrow. Yeah. Hey, Dave, what's going on? Dave Schmidt was in the chat here. Says that, yeah, Steve is a great guy. Like I said, I've never seen it. I've been on his podcast, so met him virtually, and I know that he's a great guy. And so this will be my first chance to see him speak, though.
That's awesome. Dave Schmidt says he was in Tampa last week, Dave, and might have had your ears ringing. Spent an hour talking to some of your biggest fans about how much they love you.
Oh, wow. That's super cool. Thanks for sharing that.
That's awesome.
Dave, I have to check dates with you, Dave, because I have an event coming up this month in Pensacola. And so
it's on my birthday. Isn't it on my birthday? Dave, won't you be gone on my birthday?
Your birthday is the 11th?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
remember 10, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah. But so I don't know if you'll be in town or not, Dave, and maybe we can grab a dinner or something if you're going to be around.
You guys can celebrate my birthday.
Oh, my goodness. Man, maybe we can go shopping and send you lots of presents.
No, don't do that. Send me a selfie.
Is there like a Lululemon outlet there?
Doing something really fun. By the way, if you guys forget how to remember our birthdays.
Oh, yeah, mine's
I'm 10, 11, and Dave is 12, 13. 10,
No, no,
11, 12, 13.
12, 12.
12, 12. Yeah. 10,
Yeah.
11, 12, 12.
10, 11,
10,
12, 12.
11, 12, 12.
Yep.
That's right.
Um, okay. Yeah. So maybe I will get a chance. Dave says he might be there. That's great. And Amy, hey, Amy, how are you doing? Good to see you. Fantastic to see you here.
For sure.
What
We
else
have
do we
more
have
people
going
coming
on?
in.
Okay,
Oh,
so
and
fall
Kristen
Q,
Daly at 12:31. Oh, New Year's Eve.
a New Year's Eve. All right. That's what we celebrate that night. I always thought it was like the New Year or whatever. It's like Kristen's
No, the
birthday.
fireworks are for Kristen.
Yeah. The ball drop and
I love
everything.
it. New
Yeah.
Year's Eve, baby. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Well, what else, Dave? We have
Oh, I've got one. I've got one. Brand
we
new
have
podcast episode just came out today. Episode 61 of the Dave Burgess Show is out there today. And it is me talking to Barbara Gruner. So Barbara Gruner wrote What's Under Your Cape. She also has 2 children's books, Mr. Quigley's Keys, and a new one called Birdie and Mips, which is about nicknames and like kind of the honoring people, what they want to be called in their nickname, and a little bit about nicknames. And so we talked about those 2 books and a bunch of other stuff. And it's called Reaching Hearts to Teach Minds with Barbara Gruner. So episode 61 of the Dave Burgess Show is out right now. I recorded it yesterday, just edited and published it today.
He's crushing it, guys. Will you do a podcast with Miss Abbott?
Ooh, I think I will probably be doing a podcast with Miss Abbott. And I kind of gave you guys a little bit of the background on this before, but just in case you weren't there, I'll just give you like the shortest version. And Jay, I agree with you. Barbara is one of the nicest people. She is for sure one of the nicest people. And so it was an honor to have her on the show. Okay, so Joyce grew up, was raised in Philadelphia, and then she went off and served 10 years in the military, including a tour of duty in the Persian Gulf War. So she is a veteran, and then came back to Philadelphia, where she grew up, where she went to school, and became an educator and poured back into her community. I love people that come back, people that go off, do stuff, and then they come back. And so she came back to Philadelphia and became a legendary educator in the Philadelphia area. And in fact, one of her students was Quinta Brunson, and Quinta Brunson is the one who created the show Abbott Elementary School. And Abbott Elementary is named Abbott Elementary because it was a shout out to her former teacher, Joyce Abbott. And so Joyce had quite a bit of a press run when that show kind of hit it big. And then people realized that she was the namesake of the show. And so so her story is the story that's teaching the Miss Abbott way.
Super cool. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And she's so sweet. I hope she does
is.
come on the podcast because that would be amazing.
Yeah. She is very humble and very kind of often soft-spoken, but then what will happen is you'll touch on something, say something, and you just see her click into all of a sudden just like this passion comes out of her, and this forcefulness and this power, charisma, and you're like, whoa, what just happened there? And it's like you see, like, oh, that's the real Miss Abbott right there. Like that's the, otherwise she's just talking with you, very unassuming, and then all of a sudden you say something. Well, what would you say to a teacher who feels like these kids in the inner city can't learn? And then all of a sudden, like the fire comes out, and you're like, that's the teacher right there.
There you go. That's it. That's the fire. Awesome. Yeah, so we have so much good stuff. If you've not picked up Ron's book, by the way, I'm seeing a lot of people trying some of these 1% ideas in their own school setting and coming up with their own. So if you are also doing that in your learning setting, please do tag us and share them. We love them. And I've seen him putting some on his story too. So tag it on Instagram as well. That's where I think he spends most of his time at. Those have been so cool. I loved that book. I thought it was so good. I read it in just a couple of days. we have some other really cool books, some book projects coming up soon. I think you guys are going to be really happy with the lineup for the rest of the year. And yeah, it's kind of spooky season. I don't know if we're going to do something special for spooky season, but I really like getting dressed up in costumes. So Dave does too,
Yeah,
obviously.
I I've been known to wear a costume or two in my time, um, and so uh, has
That's
anyone
what
not
I'm
thought I
wondering,
was wearing?
Dave.
Oh,
I doubt so.
yeah.
I doubt it.
Well, I
The
see the
numbers are
behind the
kind of
scenes.
telling us everyone has.
Yeah, I see the behind the scenes analytics, and I still think there's some people out there that need to get it. So,
Maybe there's a couple
but
people.
yeah, if you've ever been to RCA, Ron Clark Academy, it's a super fascinating place. And if you've been there, then I know you would want to get Ron's book. If you haven't been there, put it on your bucket list. It's people refer to it as the Hogwarts of teaching, and so it's kind of a fun place. You can go get slide certified. You go through their
Slide
training. You go
certified.
that through their training, and then your final step to get certified is to go down their slide. And
I'm
Tara,
slide certified, by the way.
you're slide
Yeah,
certified.
I
Yeah,
am.
I am not slide certified. I still need to make that happen.
We need to go, Dave. We need to go at the same time. I need to be slide certified in the new building.
Yeah, the person who else was talking about that they really wanted to get slide certified was a Nick. They're like, oh, like every other year she has different budgets that she's get. Like she has like a small budget one year, then a bigger budget the next year, and she's like on one of those bigger budget years, she wants to try to meet up with us all at RCA and get slide certified.
Oh, Amy is slide certified too.
Oh,
If you
very
go to
cool. I didn't know that.
Atlanta, hey, so Monica, how far am I from Chattanooga, from Cincinnati? Because I'm not too far from, I think from Atlanta, I'm only 7 hours, so I could drive it. How far am I from
You,
Chattanooga?
Monica, you better check all of that because Tara is not very geographically literate,
Yeah. I've
and
told
so
Dave before, I think I could drive there. He's like, looks it up. He's like, Tia, that's going to be 22 hours.
yeah, she's like, yeah, I'll just hop in the car and go there. Yeah, you're gonna drive for like 3 days.
And I take a pee stop every 1 hour. So every like 7 hour trip takes nine.
Yeah, I gotta get to Chattanooga. That I would love to
That sounds
to
fun.
grab a meal with you, Monica, and hang out a little bit. Um,
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
so I'm trying to think how much we can tease about what's coming out soon. I think in this, if you liked our book, Keeping the Wonder, um, one of the authors of Keeping the Wonder, Jenna Copper, who's fantastic and wonderful, and now is like a professor at a university, an education professor. She's coming out with a book very soon. And then I don't know about the other one, whether has there been enough teasing about the other one? Maybe we don't mention the
No,
other one. Okay,
no,
we don't mention the other one.
it's a surprise.
Someone who it does a lot of stuff on Instagram, um, has a big following on Instagram, has a book coming out very soon too. And what
We have
else
a
are we
really
teasing?
cool one at the end, kind of toward the end of the year, that we've been working on this weekend.
Oh, yes. Oh
It,
my
it
goodness.
involves art.
Yes. It
We'll leave it
is.
at that.
Yeah. Okay, so
That's a cool one.
I'll give this teaser for that one. Um, one of the books I'm proud of. I I like books sometimes that I think that nobody else would do. Uh, like there's some projects where like every publisher would do Ron Clark's next book, right? And so I'm super honored that he signed with us and we did that book. But sometimes the books that I like are the ones where you're thinking like, man, thank God they came to us because nobody else would put this book out except for us. This is one of those projects. An example of which would be, say, like Sean Gaylord came to us with his idea, how he loved the Beatles so much that he wanted to do a book about the Beatles and the Sgt. Pepper album and how that related to his educational philosophy and school culture and all that. And so we put out a book called The Pepper Effect with Sean Gaylord. Like, who does a book on the Beatles and education, right? We're probably the only ones that would do a book like that. this is that kind of book where you're thinking, your book's about what? Oh man, it's going to be cool.
It's going to be so cool. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be fun. And this is a funny comment I just saw, Dave, that I think we could we have a little bit of time. It says, it was Monica. I'm a geography novice. You don't want to hear my story about headed to the central office today and I ended up in the central part of the country. Um,
Oh my gosh.
Monica, you're talking to your people right here.
Tell about your
So
story to the vet.
Cincinnati. Yeah. So I just moved to Cincinnati and Honey needed to go to the vet. And I don't know really what happened in my GPS, but it was before I got my brand new car that can tell me everything. Um, but it was on my GPS on my phone. And somehow I must have copied and pasted just Cincinnati, like in the address. But I thought I was going to the vet. So I'm cruising to the vet. And I'm thinking, wow, I can't believe the vet is going to be like in the middle of downtown skyscrapers. Cause I'm like downtown, I'm stopping in all this traffic. It's like one-way streets everywhere. I'm like, we are going to be headed up an elevator, like with my dog. Like, did they take horses up there? Is everything going to go up there? Like, how is there a vet in the middle of downtown? This is the weirdest thing and odd. And so
They
I
take
arrived.
horses.
I was like, what is happening? This is I mean, it's my first time living in the city. So I'm like, oh, well, maybe this is how it works. You know, city people got to use a vet too. And so I get down there and it says, arrived at Cincinnati. I'm like, oh, what? First of all, I'm in the middle of downtown in front of the Capitol building. I'm like in the middle of the city. It says arrived at Cincinnati. I'm like, oh dear. So I look at my vet, like I pull up the address. I'm 25 minutes from the vet that I need to be in there in 5 minutes. So I called them. I'm like, oh my goodness. She
I
was
think
sick too. The worst part is it wasn't a well visit. Like she really was sick. And I was like, oh my God, can you please still get us in?
I think I remember being on the phone with you during this, and you're like, "Oh my God, I put just Cincinnati into the map or whatever."
Like, why? I do some dumb stuff
Yeah.
daily.
Hey, Nick is here, and Nick, I'll see you on Saturday at the conference.
Yeah,
So
so
safe
fun.
travels tomorrow to you coming all the way from Winnipeg on multiple flights to get to Sacramento. I'll see you on Saturday. Um, I'll meet up with you at the keynote, and then we'll
At
go
the
see Tish.
keynote.
Then we'll go see Tish speak.
That's awesome. And then Kristen says we're changing the name of DBC Inc. to DBC Secrets.
Yeah, we don't share all of them though.
Oh, and Dave Schmitto says, I love how Dave has to ask T what he can share. We all know who the boss is.
Yeah, well, if you really knew the truth, the boss isn't on tonight.
The real boss is Wendy.
Yeah, the real
We're
boss
both scared of her.
yeah, she's the one that calls us onto the carpet. Like, it is very rare that I have to call Tara or Wendy onto the carpet, but we get called on the carpet by her all the time.
We're like, oh, I don't want, we come tucking our tail.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Have you answered that email I forwarded to you yet? Like, no, I'm going to sit down and do that right now. Text me when you're done.
Yeah. Or
Like
when are you, T, when are you sending the video to the conference? They've been asking for like, okay, it's on your calendar and it'll be on our calendar like 17 times.
Yeah. This
Poor Wendy.
this business doesn't run unless there's Wendy behind the scenes.
Trust me.
Making us do our job.
She is the glue. I'm LOLing as you speak. It happens to me all the time. Hey, I feel you. Hey, look at all my people. These are all my people. Oh, I'm missing Fall Q as well. I'm so bummed. I just didn't want to leave my dog.
The only one that called you out was Nick.
Yeah. I like how you had to blame it on the GPS.
Yeah, for sure it was the
My
GPS's fault.
my new car wouldn't make this mistake. It'd be like, wait, I thought you said you were going to the vet.
Yeah.
All right, my friends. Well, we have come over our time. It was our long agenda. Dang it.
Oh
Gets
yeah.
us every time. Awesome. Well, we hope you guys have a wonderful week and weekend, the rest of the week, one more day, and then the weekend. If you do something fun, come share, tag us, show us on Instagram. Good night, everyone. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your time.
Bye everybody.
Bye, everyone.